Hi. Mic was off. Hello. Welcome. Hi, Robert. You're here. Nice. You made it. So today I am, I didn't think I was going to have time to do this today, but I realized I needed some sound effects for this game jam I'm working on. And it's creepy. It gives me big dungeon synth vibes. So I think that it's like appropriate to hop on the stream for a little bit. I figured my usual viewers don't want to watch me troubleshoot scripts, so I'll stick to making some of the sound effects on here. Basically I need to create some assets, and I'm probably not going to integrate them on stream, just because I'm not great at scripting, so it's a lot of troubleshooting. If there's interest in that and people are watching this, I might do it in the future, but I generally don't do any game dev stuff on here because I'm very much a hobbyist in that realm. So anyway, I don't think it's as fun to watch. Is it a home-baked audio solution? Robert asked. Oh, what is what a home? Or am I using Fmod or Wise? In this case, I am. If for the game I'm working on, I would like to be using Wise, but it is. I'm hard coding the audio stuff, so I'm writing like a dynamic music scripts and writing a bunch of just random container scripts that play back sounds the way I want them to. The person I'm working with hasn't written including Wise, and we didn't want to deal with it. It's like having great audio wasn't going to be important enough in the context of this to spend a great deal of our time and effort making sure that we can integrate through a system like Wise. So I'm using, I'm not like hard coding the audio engine. I'm using Unity's audio engine, but I'm writing scripts to control it. And I already did a lot of, probably the majority of, if not all of the music assets and the majority of the one-shot sounds. But we don't have any, like, it's just like an unpopulated sound world. So it's like, I wanted some creepy stuff, like walking through a dungeon and seeing like really horrifying monsters. I think that the monsters look great, and it's like strategy, turn-based kind of stuff. So I wanted some like unsettling sounds that make you feel like maybe something's over there, but it's not the monster. Just make the world feel populated with whatever these are. With ASMR. That's like where I am right now, and I don't like it. So I think what we're going to do is explore some stuff. I'm actually going to set my project to, let's take a look at it, to 109 BPM because the music in this area is 109 BPM, and I kind of want the option of running some of the background ambience in time with the music. So there's a thing that a lot of I hear in a lot of game audio, sort of like a ticking kind of a sound that you get that bounces between the speakers, and locking it to the timing of the music makes it less intrusive, I think. So I might try to do that. Hey Nikolai, welcome. How's your day going? Okay, so what I think I need to do here is to come up with how I want the sound to behave. Right now, my source material that I brought in to begin with is a bunch of recordings of a bass guitar. I'll turn this down so it doesn't blast us. Stuff like that. And I was thinking of chopping some of this up to use, but you know, I'm not terribly sold on it. The mic's got some sort of feedback, huh? Okay, I was not aware of that. Let me just double check that real quick. That's a problem that's happened before. And it is a problem. Check. Okay, monitor off. Audio input capture. And close active. This should be off. I found the problem. Let's see here. Shoot, where is it? Hi, Jermish. Music production sync. Dungeon reverb. Yeah. So yeah, there's basically let me just see if I can find it. Properties. It's in one of these spots here. Shoot. Filters. Input capture. Filters. So this is where it's actually supposed to be coming from. And then close. Shoot. Audio devices. Give me one moment here. I'm almost got it. I just don't remember where the setting is. Nikolai just finished a practice session trying to learn Odin 2 synth. I'm not familiar with that one. Shoot. I think that I'm going to show you this in case any of you have ideas or see a button I'm not noticing. Close should not be active here, basically. What happens if I do this? Like -80. Hello, is that better? Does that take off the sound? Because I know that my webcam has a really crappy mic in it that gives it that sound where it's far away and it sounds like a little echo. So I might have just grabbed it right there, but I'm not sure if I did it correctly. So if anyone can come in and tell me if that weird feedback went away, that would be appreciated. A screenshot. Okay, so making a screenshot of a preset and trying to mimic it. Oh, that's kind of a cool idea. That's a good way of learning synths, actually. And then Jeremy says the stream will come in handy. Have to make music for a short film contest. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of crossover between sound design and stuff. Shane says still hearing it, sorry. Nikolai says it's not annoying, just a tiny echo. Yeah, I bet it's this, then. Is that better? Maybe? I'm not sure. I think that's changed the way I'm personally hearing stuff, so I think that might have been it. Anyway, I'm going to go on without dealing with it because that can be difficult to troubleshoot without being off stream. Usually to troubleshoot that, I would record myself on OBS and then listen to the recording until I have it right. Cool. Yeah, so Shane, the voice is or was coming through 2 channels, depending on if I fixed it or not. Basically my main microphone and then the other one, and without that one, it's like, this one is just so much, you can't even hear what I'm saying on the other one. It sounds like it's on the other side of the room. It's like the worst mic I've ever used, and if I could remove it from the webcam I bought, it would improve my life dramatically. Anyway, I am going to find some type of I want some type of like a clicky, poppy kind of a sound. I might actually try to grab it from this. Something like this piece right here might be good. And I'm gonna grab that on a new track, mute this guy, and working on a grid here. I'm gonna start out by seeing what I can get out of this sound here, and I kind of want sort of a bouncing around between 2 channels, and I'm gonna pan these to the sides. I'm using a hardware controller here for this. if you want to see what that is, this is just panning here. So it can be a time saver, but sometimes it can be frustrating. What is this? So half as long on each of these, I think. And bounce these around. Cool. I'm going to put these in a container and color code them all. And give this sort of a delay, like a stereo echo tape delay thing. Let's bring this somewhere where we can see it. And set this to ping pong mode and sync it to, I'm going to do 16th notes on one side and 32nd notes on the other side. And let's hear that. That's pretty cool. I think these sounds almost want to be different though, so I'm going to start them from different spots. Nikolai says, what's the recording in track 1? This is basically, I was trying to make a bunch of sounds with a bass guitar just to see if I wanted to, scraping a pick along it and wrapping the strings around each other and playing notes. A lot of times sounds like that can be really great starting point for, I'll show you what I was probably going to do with this. Just grabbing a chunk and stretching it can feel really good. Especially with like some type of like a pitch shift. We could also even try with the re one. This is on one of the newer versions of Reaper. You've got this great time shift algorithm that makes it sound really, really granular. And with this one, let's try going to like -4, 5. Like that's pretty cool. This is, I actually might even use that. Having something like that fading in and out. You can sort of like automate the volume periodically in code. Sort of reminds me of Diablo 1. Just having like really gross background. Anyway, that's what's on track 1. I probably will use it at some point, but for now it's not what I'm going to do next. And I think what I want to do here is start each of these at a different point. And see what that feels like. And maybe speed these up, run them through an even faster grid. Let's do that. That's kind of cool. And then let's do this. Kind of cool. I'm gonna try I think some kind of a reverb would be really nice on this. I'll just use the, oh, you know what? Let's do, well, shoot. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might put these in the reverb zones in the game. So generally when you're in game audio, you can Well, you can bake the reverb in, right? Like render the file with the reverb, or you can run it through like what you call it, generally like a reverb zone, where you know, if you enter into a building from outside, the way the footstep sound change, and it's not just the footstep recording, it's like the like space that you're in. So it's basically like a send to a reverb bus that has a blend control, where the closer you get to where you could hear the new reverb, the more it would blend into that one. So that's something to consider here. Just to see what it's like with reverb. I'll make that call later. I'll try exploring this and put the mix lower. And I kind of want to hear this with like some kind of extreme like clipping distortion. I'll just do this for now. That's kind of cool. I want to hear it like coming in. It's weird. All of these need to fade out together, I think. And you know what? There's like weird little pops. I'm going to give them like a little 3 millisecond fade in. Kind of cool. It almost like wants a spring reverb. So let's see here. What the heck was that? I don't even know if I have a spring reverb plugin. Does this have a spring? I don't think this has a spring. Reverb. I don't even know. I wonder if I've got like a spring reverb squeak in my Media Explorer. I've got a bunch of spring rattles. I'm looking at something that's off screen right now. I don't have a good way of getting it on screen. Yeah, I do. Wait. Give me a second. Here. Now we can see it. Okay, now we can see it. I have like one of those giant wide monitors, and my Media Explorer usually lives on the left side, and where you conveniently can't see it on stream based on the way I've cropped it. But today we actually want it. So. These aren't spring reverbs, but they're better. I'm going to actually bring in one of these. That one's great. And let's get rid of the Media Explorer now. Bring you back over here. Cool. And I'll sneak back over to my usual corner. Okay. So now we've got this spring sound from that library. And a lot of times Foley libraries like that can be a really, really great starting point for any type of sound design. I do a lot of it on synthesizers, but in this case, I would do that on like an actual spring. There's not much to recreate the sound of an actual spring. So let's start by hearing that. It's really loud. Let's pull that back a little bit. And the next thing I like to do with any of these sounds is just, what does it sound like reversed? And I've got a custom button up here for that. I kind of want a custom button down here on my desk. But anyway, let's hear that. So that's already kind of a nice vibe. And the next step here is I'm going to duplicate that again. And I want to hear just what happens if we play around in that unsettling quiet area. I'm going to crossfade these together. Kind of cool. I like it. Almost like that combined with this other idea might be closer to what I'm looking for. No. It's not quite what I want. But you know, maybe like little like squeaky. I actually kind of want to hook up my synth here. Do I have a cable plugged into it? No, there's no cable plugged into it, so I'm not gonna dig up a power cable on the stream. Dang. I want to make little squeaky sounds. I wonder if I've got like a okay. It's like animal sounds. I want to dig up some creepy animal sounds. Yeah, nothing creepier than indoor crow cawing. So let's grab that too. I want to see if any of these sounds. Those are great. And another thing that's like really good for creepy sound design is like human sounds. Just because they're familiar and putting them in the wrong context can be good. What is it? I can't remember what it's from. But putting like the distant sound of like a baby crying is like really unsettling. So I don't know how unsettling we want to get here, but yeah, let's just do it. Baby crying. Imagine being like the child from this recording and finding out as an adult that like you were recorded by a Foley artist. There's something like I think that like babies like or children crying is like the funniest thing because they're always crying over the most ridiculous stuff, like you know, like the first time that you have food taken away from you is like probably like one of the worst experiences you've ever had at that point in your life. So like it's just catastrophic. You start crying like first time you have to like leave the park. Just no. So like these types of sounds like really quietly with a giant reverb, just any of these will probably be fine. Let's just look for one of the presets here. Let's try something like that, and we want to filter it, make it sound a little further away. Just take out a lot of the high end, and then just pull the volume down. Like just put that like yeah, like I mean, it doesn't get much creepier than that. For when you're like fighting like inhuman monsters and stuff, it's just delightful. thing. Nikolai says, I was sitting in my room this morning, heard some cats fighting outside. Thought I was a child crying. Yeah, cats like sound human sometimes. They have like really interesting vocal cords. Okay, and then we always have to do it. Any type of creepy sound design, like, does it sound cool, creepy or reversed? And then if we adjust the pitch or the speed. This is like, it's making me uncomfortable. It's really creepy. Robert, you agree? It's creepy AF, yeah. It's like, what the hell is this? What if we like take one of these, one of these loud ones, and like slow it down and pitch it way down? It's gonna be so funny. Do like down like almost an octave, like -9 semitones. Did I do that? What is going on here? -9, and then slow down a bunch, yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. I hate it. So that's a possible starting point too. I didn't get to the crows calling. Let me just pull these in here. Crows. Again, crows have like really delightful, what do you call it? Like, very like human sounding vocal cords. I feel like crows, cats, obviously humans, but like stuff that like humans can like relate to as being similar to us when they hear it. It makes for a much more like emotional experience usually, in my opinion. Moaning 9-year-old transported back to Silent Hill 3. That's hopefully that ends up remaining a compliment. Silent Hill games have beautiful sound design, just really delightful. Wow. Crows just don't even sound creepy when you don't have this same. Let's just throw the same stuff on here. Just like instant creepiness, right? What do crows sound like when you like pitch shift them down an octave? Demons. Laughter. Sounds like low budget demon laughter. I like it. This. I could go lower than that actually. Let's go to maybe like and let's tie these together a little bit more. Yeah. God. I think I could use dynamic split for this. Where's the transient? I heard us. Where's the transient sensitivity? Yeah, this isn't going to be good for this. Dynamic split is great sometimes, but in this case, we're just going to do it manually. I'm using tab and then S to slice or split. And then all of these are going to be a little off, so because it doesn't get very loud immediately. So that should get most of them, except for this one right here. Do that one manually. Something like that. Cool. And then I'm just going to trim them all a bit. This one's going to have to be done manually. And then whoops. I need to have less of these custom buttons. So what the heck was I doing here? Add spectral edit item. There we go. Okay. Okay. And let's do 0 seconds. Whoops. Add space to item and reposition selected items. Add interval to item end. There we go. That's like a really useful command. If you're working with a bunch of sounds, it just sticks them together. How far apart should those be? Okay. Let's try 0.3 seconds. Too much? Maybe 0.1 seconds. Let's just combine all these. What does it sound like having all these weird sounds like next to each other at the same time? This stuff's funny when you make it. It's like creepy in context, but I think it's like way too creepy for the content of the game we're making. I'll have to tone it down a lot. I mean, with this type of stuff, usually what you'd also do is like trigger one thing at a time and periodically just like have some sounds that might play. But I don't know. We'll see what we want to do. I think I might just want some general, more general ambiance like this. That's like looping. That's like the Batman origin I'm not familiar with Batman origin. I don't know my Batman media very much. There's like, I've seen like the ones that were on Cartoon Network when I was a kid. And I've seen like all the cartoons, and I've seen like a couple of the movies, but I haven't really played the games or seen any recent Batman media. And a lot of it's good too. It's just I don't get around to it. Okay, so what do we got here? This is like this is a vocal chop. Give me a second here. This is why I can't have nice things. Where are we here? Let's do... Oops. It's not as funny as I thought it would be. Okay, this one's perfect. Let's grab that as our source material for something. I'd probably stretch this a bit. A banshee. Where's the Z beat? Yeah. I like every time I try doing like a sort of like a vocal chop type thing, I get like I chicken out. The closest I've done to that is that song. I think it's "Take My Hand" that I did with my friend Andre. It's not really a vocal chop because it's like a vocal synthesis thing, but it has a part in it that's like sort of like vocal chop E, I guess. But that's the only time I've ever used that. And I like the way they sound. I just don't feel like it has anything to do with me. I don't feel like it's my music or something. What if we stretch it a lot? Starts sounding like a combination of a siren and a cat in heat. Let's try stretching different parts of it, different amounts. Hey, Kaio. Doing good? Just arrived from work. Lucky to catch you live. Nice. Glad you're here. What kind of work do you do, if you don't mind sharing? No pressure. Just always curious. Okay, I want to hear it. That's really funny. I grabbed the same sample for both of these. Oh, cool. Kaio, you're a street musician? That's awesome. What kind of stuff do you play on the street? Do you do like any specific style of music, or do you just set up and play some songs? I didn't incorporate this piece of it at all. That sounds really good. What does that sound like pitched down like a ton? Sounds kind of like a gong. That's weird. 0. This piece right here is cool. Let's take that out and do something with it. I think it's this part. Okay, interesting. Voice and guitar, play original songs and some covers. Awesome. Do you have like a? I know when I used to be a street musician, and there were certain songs that would always like be the like the ones that get you tips. Like you could play like the most beautiful thing in the world, but then there would always be like 1 or 2 covers, like depending on the time, that were popular enough at the time, or like were funny enough or memey enough that that they would be the ones where people would drop the fives, tens. Like the big bills in the hat. What are the big moneymaker songs right now? Is there like a hit song right now that everyone just loves hearing and they immediately come by and give you a little bit of money? I'm curious what that would be. When the old guys come in, you play Scorpions. That's could be worse. I think Scorpions have some awesome songs. What's that song called? Blackout is just such a cool rock song. That one's funny because it's like, is the baby laughing at your play or crying? I'm going to keep that one aside. Always Somewhere, Dust in the Wind, You and I. Do you do any like super modern songs, like contemporary hits? I feel like people love hearing like modern R&B and pop and stuff like that played on an acoustic guitar on the street, because it like reminds them that it's like still just a song. I wonder if there's more of those. Perfect. This little chunk's gonna be good. Nice and creepy. Starting right there and ending here, I think. Okay. Okay, that one's good. Just chopping these up. That one there sounds like singing. I almost want to make it feel like that. I need a reference pitch. Robert Harrison. It makes them feel like they're in a Mraz video. Oh my god, that's like too true. That's like Jason Mraz's popularity is like I feel like I get it, but I also don't. Like it's just I feel so detached from like being excited about his music, because he's good. He's good. He's very good at what he does. He's actually, as far as I know, he's from the same city as me. I think he was like one of the like open mic stars in San Diego. Like Jason Mraz and Jewel was also from here, and Tom Waits of all people. They're like the open mic celebrities of San Diego, San Diego's past, the ghosts of San Diego past. It's funny because it's like they're so good at making songs that just immediately fade into the background if you aren't paying attention. Just like songs to play like in the background at a coffee shop where it's like it sounds nice. And that's like what a lot of people want from music. They just want it to sound nice. They want it to not challenge any of their beliefs. They want it to make them feel good. And Jason Mraz is so good at that. But it's always surprising to me when someone like breaks out of the local community to like become known for that. And good for him. But I don't see myself ever buying a Jason Mraz record or like searching for his music. That's probably like I'm surprised that people do. I feel like his career would probably be better if he only did that like library music, and he didn't have to worry about like people like not like recognizing him at the grocery store. Kyle says before I play melodica over jazz backing tracks, then improvise like 6 a.m. to noon. Dang, that's a lot. You probably got good melodica. Like you must. I run out of breath so fast playing that instrument. It's a fun street musician instrument though, because people I think people, even though they're relatively common, people are still surprised to see them in person, and they're like, oh, what a fun novelty. It's like a accordion that you blow on instead of pumping a bellows. I don't think I'm getting anywhere with this. I think that what needs to happen is I just make a series of like little sounds that will trigger randomly, like maybe between every like 6 and 12 seconds you'll hear a sound or you'll hear no sound. I'm not super versed in what do you call it? Optimization, but it's my understanding that like although it's tempting to say like have a random container that will play one of these sounds every 10 seconds, you don't want to do that because it makes the game feel like it skips every 10 seconds if you're on a slow computer or something like that. So you almost want it feel like the bad frame happens at a random spot. So you just pick a random spot for the random spot to be. And anyway, I think that making sure that there's like a possibility of no sound playing is just as important as the possibility of one of these sounds playing. Because sometimes you'll feel like something's wrong if you hit the, no sound plays random twice in a row or something like that. You'll feel like, oh God, is there like an enemy coming? That one's good too. Okay, I think what I need to do is just pick out my favorites. Oh, I forgot what I was doing because contact was loading. I need a reference. So I was just playing some chords that were like in key for the soundtrack of the area, which you don't get to hear yet. But I just wanted to tune this baby crying so that it sounds like it's singing. So let's pull that volume down a lot. It's kind of in tune already. So we've got like a that kind of a thing. So I'm gonna tune this. I'm gonna tune this baby to like do a couple of different melodic gestures, I think, that are in key. Up a full step would work. So +2. Down 3 would work as well. Let's do, this one's gonna be the best one. Interesting. Gives me Western vibes from a Hollywood perspective. Yeah, totally. A little bit. I think that I want to hear some other chords. We do sort of like a A flat major 7, and there's also like an F major in the soundtrack somewhere. So, which also like I feel like this feels like Hollywood Western for sure. Like, it doesn't feel like that in the context that I'm using the band, but I think the idea of that being the style is really funny. Let's ditch that major 7 for now. That feels good. All these feel good. This one like needs a format shift though. So let's slap take effects on there. This is a great tool for where are you here? If you're messing around with individual sounds and doing a bunch of versions, is like doing an effects change on just the piece here instead of on the whole track. It's just tends to be a time saver, organization saver. So I'm going to try shifting the format up a little bit. Let's hear it solid. Nothing feels like overkill. Oh, it's because I have a filter on, huh? Yeah, that's way too much. Yeah, that sort of works, I think. That's about right. Let's go a little bit less. Nice, okay. These are awesome. These are my favorites. Baby singing. Spell it wrong, whatever. And yeah, Frontier. Total Frontier vibes. Yeah, that's like exactly the right word for it. Frontier vibes. And yeah, Reaper lets you put effects on individual tracks. I think a lot of other DAWs do too. It's just not used that much. I know a lot of times what you'll do is you'll have like your audio suite, for example, in Pro Tools, where you'll essentially process the track. So you'll say like instead of like adding an effects chain to the track to be processed by the computer in real time, you would essentially have a control for pre-rendering an effect chain on the individual item or on the track itself. But it's my understanding that a lot of DAWs have that. It's just not a very commonly used feature. I would look into it because it's like, I don't know, maybe it's uncommon. I'm gonna look it up. FX chain on individual audio item logic. Let's look it up. Apply plugin effects to audio regions. Yeah, you can do it in Logic. I assume that if you can do it in Logic, you can probably do it in like Ableton and stuff. A lot of, I think like Pro Tools is really the DAW that is existing mostly in the dark ages right now. A lot of the other like popular ones tend to have relatively regular updates with like modern features like this. I think Ableton actually might take MPE now, MPE support, which I'm not sure if Reaper takes MPE support yet, which is surprising actually. But who knows? Anyway, okay. What do we got here? References. I wonder if any of these other ones sound like. That one's like. It's like more Western, Western vibes. Robert, you use Cubase, and it does a lot of things you don't use yet, but never had a reason to do that specifically. I would be shocked if Cubase doesn't have that option. Cubase is the only DAW I've watched people's workflows on since I switched from Pro Tools to Reaper maybe 6 years ago now. Cubase is the only DAW I've watched workflows on that makes me consider that maybe that would be a different option that I would want. It's the only one that seems to do stuff that seems to do anything better than Reaper, in my opinion, actually. Whenever I use Logic or Ableton, like, I get why people like them, but for my personal use, Reaper is so much better for what I do. But Cubase seems like it's also excellent at the stuff that I do. So it's one of the only ones that I've considered, like, maybe I'll learn that one next if I learn another DAW. Kyle, you use FL Studio. FL Studio is like really, really good at. I feel like FL Studio. This is kind of a funny take on FL Studio. I think FL Studio is really good at the type of stuff that I make on my YouTube channel. All the stuff that I think that, like, the stuff that I make on my own time is sort of boring to watch because it takes such a long time to get even a very small amount of output. Like, I'll spend, a few days on like 30 seconds of music or something like that. And I usually make more macro stuff on my YouTube videos because I think it's more fun to watch, and it's a little bit more, it makes it more appealing to beginners that haven't tried yet, where they can see, like, oh, I could do that in a short period of time instead of like, wow, music takes a long time to make. FL Studio feels great for looping music. It feels great for, I mean, I would probably use it if I was producing for hip hop artists, and I do like the FL workflows for stuff like Dungeon Synth. I just haven't gotten around to buying FL. It's just, these things are just tools. It's like it's like having a different screwdriver to work on your cabinet than from your oven or something like that. It's like, if you can do the same thing on them and you already know how to use one or own one, it's like, who cares? So I'm not about to like buy all of those other ones. As good as Ableton is, as good as Logic is, as good as FL or Cubase is, I'm really not likely to just go go shopping. Robert says about as close to Pro Tools without using Pro Tools. That's an interesting perspective. I'm going to come back to that. Han Dynasty, hi. Can I get in touch with you for Dungeon Synth advice and opinions on my project? I kind of starting from scratch, but your help is immense. Yeah. So I do periodically get emails about questions like that, and happy to answer. You should be able to find my email on my YouTube channel or on my website. There should be like it's either like a contact button or a some way to access my email address. It's either in the about on my YouTube channel or in my website, which is linked in the about. So yeah, dig out my email address and shoot me a message. I'd be happy to help. And Kaya says secret is that you have to use FL Studio to generate sounds, then bounce them, unite them in programs like Reaper and Cubase. Yeah, that seems like the standard workflows. Logic or FL they're music production softwares. They're not really like post-production softwares. They're like for making the creative part. I feel like Ableton is like that too. And you switch over to Pro Tools, Cubase, Reaper, whatever else to finish. But yeah, I want to come back to Robert saying it's about as close to Pro Tools without using Pro Tools. So I think Cubase is supposed to be more of a music production program like Logic, actually. I haven't personally like turned it on or used it. I've watched a lot of people using it, but it looks like it's trying to be a little bit more of like making the music part. And I know that that's how it's treated in Hollywood. Like at Hans Zimmer's studio, one of my friends used to work there, and they produce their soundtracks in Cubase, and they mix them in Pro Tools. So there's like a very, very specific, like a very intentional switch. Like Hans Zimmer's personal workstation, there's 2 computers running, and one of them is Cubase. Well, there's more than 2 computers running, but there's 2 essentially lead computers where there's a bunch of sample computers where they essentially just are running Contact and other samplers. But the lead computer is Cubase, and it's bouncing tracks to the other computer, which is on running Pro Tools to mix. And I don't know exactly why that's the case, but it's my understanding that Avid essentially has proprietary control over some like surround sound formats and stuff like that. So I think that if you're making like something for mainstream Hollywood, I think you have to mix it in Pro Tools because of a sort of a monopoly. They've got a monopoly on some formats that are related to surround sound. I don't exactly know what it is. I think that also like it because a lot of the big studios are using Avid for making the visuals, I think that they expect not stems but Pro Tools session files. So like I'm waiting for Reaper to be able to open Pro Tools session files. I think that'll be cool. I wonder if they're like allowed to write that kind of code. Anyway, delightful stuff. I'm gonna find the other ones that I liked here. Does this sound good? No, this is like too musical of a sound to use in the context of a soundtrack. I'm not going to use that one. These 2 though, I'm going to move over to my other section here. Happy with those. These are the same as these. So let's, I'm going to start making a collection of the sounds I'm actually going to use. And what I generally do for my workflow here is I'll create regions for them and then just use region render matrix, which is over here off screen, I guess, to just render them all as a batch. Robert says because the mastering guys are older and use Pro Tools. Yeah. And Harrison Mixbus 32C, toy with that. One of my friends uses Harrison Mixbus sometimes. Again, older guy that does a lot of like mixing and mastering and stuff for higher profile clients. So I think that a lot of the older guys are getting hired by older guys that think of Pro Tools as like the one that you need to use. So it's sort of like a chicken or the egg thing. Like, are they using Pro Tools because they think it's better, or are they using Pro Tools because their clients think it's better? Or are they using Pro Tools because their clients think it's better, so they've convinced themselves that it is better so that they can use it instead of convincing their clients otherwise? It's like a sort of a weird situation. It's still sort of like your standard in studios for film production stuff though, so is what it is. A lot of game studios use it as well. My friends over at PlayStation use Pro Tools a lot, but they also said more and more they're switching to Reaper. So it's like, it's kind of just like Reaper's better than Pro Tools at most things. So it's like, as the industry accepts that, you're going to start seeing Reaper more and more on like audio job descriptions as a prerequisite. Like 10 years ago, it all said Pro Tools, and now it always says Pro Tools and Reaper, unless they're doing like cinematic music production, in which case they include Cubase in that list usually. You never see stuff like Ableton, Logic, or any of that stuff, FL, on those types of studios, because that's not what they're doing. Those programs are for making pop music or making songs, producing songs. So they're not really for integrating the songs with visuals. And having said that, a lot of people are using Logic more and more in the same way that people use Keybase, where it's like just a really easy starting point. And Logic has gotten to the point where it's good at it. I won't use anything that's Mac exclusive. Just, way too often have I run into the problem of like, oh, well, the session was done on a Mac, so we have to keep using a Mac forever. Or we have to like spend like 6 hours converting all the files. And it's just like, I only use cross-platform software for like in a professional realm, unless it's staying on my computer in my computer alone. In that case, I'm okay with using exclusive software, but any type of situation where there's stems or session files or anything like that, I don't trust collaborators and clients to not have forgotten that they had a Mac that has one piece of Mac exclusive software on it. Just because it's like, when that's your only computer, it's so easy to forget that you're using something that's exclusive. And that just creates, it throws so many wrenches in the creative process, where you have to like stop being creative for an hour while you wait for everything to render out and become, a new file format or something. So that's my take on it. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with these little cues and these things. Like, I think that's going to be probably enough to try them out in integrating them in the game environment, and we have to have it done by like Monday, I think. So I need to probably spend the rest of my day troubleshooting code. I'm gonna bail on this stream and see if I can get this stuff done. I'll post the game when it's finished. It's just a game jam game, so it's a little thing, but I think it's got cool vibes, so I think it'll be fun to look at. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming by. Fun conversations this morning. Really a good way for me to wake myself up and get in the mood to accidentally not put semicolons in. It's like C# code for Unity, so it's like every error is like, oh, you forgot to put a semicolon at the end of the line, but whatever. I can tolerate that. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Again, trying to get on here, like, whether I like it or not, on, what do you call it, on Saturday mornings between like 11 and 12 my time. So there you go. Don't forget Dungeon Samba. Kaio, make a Dungeon Samba starting point, and I'll work on it. Like, we can collaborate. Like, just make something that's not finished and send it to me, and I'll add stuff to it on stream. And then if Han Dynasty, if you're still in here, just dig up my email and send it. Daniel, Francis. Hi, I'm logging off, Daniel. You missed me. Sorry. Anyway, I drew this goblin creature monster like 2 years ago and put it on shirts with the release of one of my Dungeon Synth tapes. If anyone wants one, I'll get more of them in different colors too. I just found the box with like a few of them left. So goblin troll. Okay, I'm gonna get to work, eat lunch and get to work. Bye everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Sorry, Daniel. Maybe next time. Good night, good afternoon, and good morning wherever you are.